something that we always like to do is like tell scary stories. Do you have any scary stories from Mexico? Like anything crazy or like or seen out there?
How about instead of scary, like more like paranormal?
Yeah, paranormal, anything?
Pues en la casa de mi tía dicen que espantan. A mí, I've seen things, but I've never been scared. You know?
Espantan?
What have you seen?
Espantan, like scared.
Okay.
Like they,
I'm sorry.
Like,
No sabo kid right here. No sabo kid.
The slang is a little too much for me. I'm dying.
I'm no sabo sometimes. I like them in English and Spanish. Pero, like, siempre dicen, que, like, si te quedas en los cuartos de mi tía, que, like, because she has, like, thin
walls?
like, curtains.
Okay.
And it's, like, her house is, like, hacienda style. Like, it's, like, every room is individual. And to, like, when you leave it, you're in the patio.
Okay.
Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Pues, they say que, like, they'll hear, like, footsteps and see, like, old people walking by, like, a viejita. And a ellos les han asustado, les han, like, hecho cosas, pero, like, yo soy bien miedoso, and I hate being in the dark, but I'll be alone in her house in the dark, pero no me da miedo nunca. I've seen things, like, she has, like, big windows. I walked by, and I've seen, like, people standing there, like, blocking it, like, physically the light. And then I go back, and I look, and no one's there. But then I'm like...
Oh, shit.
Like, like... I don't feel scared. Like, maybe it's a family member. Like, maybe they just fuck with me or something. Like, I don't know. And even my friend Joanna was there. Y nunca le pasó nada. Pero my tío was there recently too. Y él que, he was like, me asustaron. Like, oí que alguien estaba hablando afuera. Que, like, you know how they say spirits are like you can't really understand what they say. They say that they hear that. But I've never heard that. But I've seen, like, little shadows and stuff. Pero nunca de que yo diga, I'm scared.
So you don't get scared of that stuff?
Mm-mm. Pero another thing. I do get scared of that stuff.
Okay, I was like,
I feel like I'm so comfortable at my house and my tia's house que I'm not really like feeding into it, you know, because I feel like that's another thing. Like if you give that energy de que tengo mucho miedo, that's what they feed
They're
off
gonna
of.
thrive off of it.
Like fear.
Yeah. Thrive off of it.
Like in Donde Vivo, like there's a street and it leads all the way out to like the cerro, ¿verdad? And my sister-in-law lives her house is the very end of the houses, you know, before it's a cerro. And my brother stays over there when he goes. And dicen que at a certain point in the night, I forgot the time specifically, everyone has dogs in Mexico. Todos los perros andan ladrando like if something's walking. You know, like, you know, you guys have been? You know how when a herd of cows passes by, all the dogs start barking like crazy?
Yeah.
Well, the same thing happens, pero no one's like, dicen que si te asomas, no hay nada. Pero like all the dogs like slowly going up the street start barking like if there's like something walking by.
Damn, that's crazy. La Llorona, maybe.
I told that to my friend. She was like, oh my God. And I was like, if you hear our dog's named Bruno, I was like, if you hear Bruno bark, I was like, ignore his ass. I was like, white people think this is wanting to investigate. When I hear the dog bark outside, and I'm like, I'm not going to go to the window. I'm going to like put a show on, turn it up all the way up, y a dormir con la luz prendida. Like,
yeah, we had a dog and our, like way back in the day, his name was Denver. Every time like around 3 or 4, he'll just start barking at the corner like crazy. And he was a dog not to known to be barking. Like he doesn't bark.
He wasn't a barking dog.
And he was very friendly. Like
it was rare that you hear him bark. And it was always like aggressive. Like even like raccoons will come and take his food. He'll just like watch them. Like he'll let them.
I feel like that's what makes it scary. Porque yo también tengo una perrita. No ladra. She's not mean. So anytime that I'm like home alone with her and I hear her go like, I'm like, Zapaira, please. And then I put her on my bed with me. I'm like, no, girl, like you can't be doing this right now.
Relax. Yeah.
That's what happens to the Angel's dog, Chula.
Yeah, my dog, like I have a wiener dog, and like any little noise, like she's like aware and starts growling and barking. And she does it sometimes in the middle of the night. I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you seeing right now? Like I'm tripping.
And it's like my dog is bien miedosa. Like if she hears a loud noise, she gets scared. So that's why like if I hear a noise, if she gets scared, I'm like, oh, like it's normal. But sometimes if she hears a noise and she growls, I'm like, why isn't she scared?
Yeah.
Like this isn't normal.
What about here? You seen anything scary at your house here in the U.S.?
Pues at my ex's house, it was haunted.
Oh.
And
he said, oh, shoot.
Él se iba a trabajar como a las 3 y algo de la mañana, and I me sleeping, right?
Props,
So,
bro. 3 a.m. is crazy.
Se iba, and then me acuerdo que like I felt when he left, and he has a big bed, you know? So I was laying there like in the middle, and tiene un gato, y también my little dog was there. And de la nada como que siento like, you know when an animal hops on your bed? Mm-hmm. Like you feel the pressure. So I was like sleeping, and I sleep face down, con la cabeza like a little bit to the side. Y sentí like a pressure like towards my feet, and I was like, oh, his cat Vinny jumped on the bed. And then I feel another one like on the like closer to my knee, like right here. And I was like, and in my head I still had my eyes closed, but I was like, this isn't Vinny. Y de la nada, I kid you not, I start feeling like if someone was like jumping like back and forth from side to side, and I forgot like specifically what it was, but I opened my eyes and I couldn't move, and it was like sleep paralysis, ¿verdad? And I kept on hearing, oh, like wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. When I'm getting like goosebumps thinking about it.
Damn.
Me dio tanto miedo y tanto terror because I was like, and it was like going on. Like I was like, I feel like like when you can see, like I could almost see like the little indentations like in the thingy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And it was going on for a while. And it kept on hearing that like laughing voice in like my ear. And I was like, but I watched ghost shows. So I was like, cálmate, 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 feeding off your scaredom. So I was like, ponte enojado, ponte enojado. So I started thinking, I was like, ooh, fucking ghost, like this and that. And then finally I was able to move and I me paré and I was like, did that just happen? So then I texted my boyfriend. I was like, oh my God, I'm scared. Like I just woke up and like I think that there was a ghost or something like that. And then Zafaira, which is my dog, she was also like kind of like making little noise. And I was like me dio tanto miedo. I feel like that was probably the worst thing that's happened to me because I was like so terrified because I was like, it was the fear of knowing que like, oh, this isn't like this isn't
an animal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was it haunted by? Like a family member or just something?
Oh, I don't know. Because one time también estamos en su cuarto and he had his closet door open. Y arriba it's flat, like like shelves.
Yeah.
He had like a present or something and it was a box. And we were just like laying down, like doing something. Y de la nada, the flat box laying on a flat surface fell off. And I was like,
I would have been fucking shitting myself.
He was like, oh my God. And then he went back to sleep. And I was like, I was so scared. I was like, I can't go back to sleep. I was like, I actually am like too scared. And then eventually I did go back to sleep. But I was like, oh my God. I was like this is scary.
That happened to you too, remember?
Dude, what?
When you went to grandma's house and then you told me, are you going to go? I said no. And I ended up going. And when I was getting there, he left already. So he got home thinking I was already home. And he was like, are you not home? I was like, no. So he was home by himself alone. And he said that like one of my signs that I have on my room, like it never falls. It's always like stuck on the wall. Like all of a sudden just fell and it made a loud noise and it scared the shit out of me.
It was like one of these posters. It was literally like a hung
and it's
poster.
always so terrifying when you realize it afterwards because it's like, what was I with? Porque antes lo que me sucedía mucho también es que I would hear my name being called.
Oh. That happens a lot to people.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out.
But like my family, they call me Chuche. Only my family calls me Chuche. Everyone else, I feel like other Jesus, they call him like Chuy and stuff. But like I would specifically hear my name being called like Chuche in my mom's voice or my sister's. Ooh. So I remember a couple of times it was like me and my mom home alone. And then I would hear Chuche and I'd be like, ¿Qué? Because I'm malcriado. I say, ¿Qué? She'd be like, Chuche. And I'd be like, and I'd stand up and I'd be like, ¿Qué quieres, mami? And then she'd be like, yo no te estaba llamando. And I was like, Mami. Whoa. I was like, me estabas hablando ahorita. And she was like, no. And I'm like, okay. And then
that gave me goosebumps. That's crazy.
Again, the most recent time que ha pasado, it was like 2 years ago. I was at the dorms because I used to dorm at CSUF. And I was in my room and I'm really close with my roommate Jimena and my other roommate Bianca. But Bianca wasn't there. Jimena was, I think. And no, she wasn't there either.
So it was just you?
I think it was just me, yeah. And I was in my room and I hear Chuche, but in Jimena's voice. And I was about to leave my room and go. And then I was like, Jimena doesn't even like call me Chuche ever. Like not even as a joke. And I was like, I'm not going to go out. So then I stayed in my room. And then after a little bit, I came out. And then Jimena was in her room. And I was like, Jimena, did you call me? And she was like, no. And I was like, and I was like, be so serious. I was like, did you call me Chuche? And she was like, girl, I would never call you that. That's weird. And I was like, I'm not joking. I heard you call me Chuche. She was like, they're trying to get your ass. I was like, they almost got me because I was like,
they almost got me.
I almost walked out.
Like I was so close to like leaving. And then I was like, why did Jimena just call me Chuche? She calls me Jesus. Like that doesn't make any type of sense.
Yeah, I feel
that's a different type of paranormal. I've never ever.
Yeah, I think this is the last time. I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't want to bring it up.
I've never heard of like your name being called by something. That's fucking insane.
And then another obvious. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm very
There's too much paranormal thing that happened in your life.
Keep going. I like it.
Well, like I said, I used to go to frats at UCLA, ¿verdad? So I would come back home like at like 1 a.m, too. and I would have to park at the very furthest parking lot at like campus. So I had to walk past an arboretum, which is like a big garden. So I was walking and like I was cold, and I was filming a TikTok at that time, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm scared, like no me van a comer los coyotes, because there's coyotes and like sometimes they charge at people. And I was walking, and as soon as I finished recording, I heard hello. But let me remind you, the arboretum, it's closed, and people don't go in there because there's coyotes, right? Homeless people don't go in there. It's like closed off. And I was like right next to the fence, and it's pitch black, like it's all like plants and stuff. So I heard hello. When I tell you, I looked, there was nothing. I just saw bushes and stuff, and I was like,
damn, that's scary.
Imagine you just
I
like
really looked, and then I took off. When I say I booked it, because I remember when I was parking, I saw someone walking way ahead, and I was like, I'm catching up to them. And it actually felt like you know those dreams where you're running fast?
Yeah.
Like I was like running so fast, like I was probably doing like maybe like a 6-minute mile, like maybe even less. I was like booking it. And then when I got to my dorm, I told my roommates, I was like, this just happened. I was so scared. And I even, I slept with my roommate. I was like, can you sleep in my bed with me? I'm actually so terrified.
Wow.
And then she was like, I'm scared. What if it comes back for you? And I'm with you. And I was like, girl, don't say that. I was like, just stay with me. And then she ended up staying with me. But I was like so terrified. After that, I would risk getting a ticket and parking in a closer parking lot, because I was like, I'm not walking past the arboretum at the night anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, you avoided it at all costs?
At night, yeah.
Honestly,
I was scared, and they were like, "What if it was a homeless person?" I was like, "No homeless person would go in there with coyotes, because the coyotes do chase students sometimes." So I was like, "They wouldn't risk it." I was like, "I wouldn't risk it."
But who the fuck would be calling you? Who would say hello to you?
I don't know.
Like, why would they even say hello? Like in the
middle of the
so
night to a random person.
It's late.
Yeah.
It's like, what
I'm like-
do you want? Like, what's
Especially saying
I
hello.
I feel like if it was like someone, they would have laughed if they saw me taking off, because I was actually wearing like a puti outfit. Like I had like a crop top, like some jeans, and then like some like I don't know, like some like makeup on, like makeup did, like, and they just see me take off. I feel like people would have laughed if it was a prank.
Or recorded it or something.
Did not hear a single thing. So I was like,
you know what I would have done if I would have been in your situation. If I would have heard that hello, I would have already been gone. I would have just. What do you want to try to look?
What are you
who the fuck it
looking
was?
at? I'm dipping.
you know, for me, my thing was I'm like, oh, someone's talking to me. So I was like, who's talking to me? And then when I literally looked, and I have good vision, like I can spot a bitch out quick. So I was like, I literally looked, and I was like, and then I just took off. I was like actually so terrified.
Yeah, that
That's great.
reminded me when we did a scary shit with little Antonio. We went to it was in Fontana. Remember when I said that I heard somebody say help?
La Melinda?
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Remember when
me,
I said, really? Oh, okay. Remember when I said that there was somebody that said help? It would sound like a little girl said help on top of us, like over a tree. And we were done.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
actually so terrifying.
Yeah.
It was in Fontana.
It was in
We did
Fontana,
a
right?
podcast episode.
Oh yeah, and we saw something in the bush.
Yeah, and then I was like, bro, I see someone down there. And they're like,
You know what the stuff we do, right? We do scary shit.
Yeah, but I could not. I'd be too scared something would come home with me.
Mm,
That
we do too.
That
We get
night, I
scared.
was really scared because I really thought something was gonna come home because we looked into the distance and you can see like two glowing eyes looking
That's
looking at us
actually
from
so
a
terrifying.
distance. And our friend, he lives around the area. He said, yeah, there's like people who sometimes like stay here or like sleep around here or like some crazy shit. So that night, I really felt scared because we all saw some shit.
I tripped out because I feel like I was the only one that heard help.
yeah.
You guys hear it?
And then
I didn't hear that.
And then we kept on hearing someone like in the tree. Cause remember we were hearing someone in the tree.
Yeah.
I was like, bro,
That's actually so
Insane.
too
terrifying.
much things happening.
I
right
think
now.
I could not, like when I say I thrift clothes, but I would never buy like something from the outside. I'd be too terrified that it's gonna
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
come home with something, because I'm like, I feel like I'd rather deal with like a serial killer than a ghost, because I'm like, a serial killer can get like stopped, like I can lock myself in a room, call the police, and try to survive. A ghost,
Yeah, you
Can't open it.
You can stomp out a serial killer, but you can't stomp out
like,
a ghost.
what I can grab my sage and like start cursing, but I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, like that's actually so scary.
Yeah, my dad always told me like if you ever find a ring, don't ever put it on. You know, don't ever put on a ring or a necklace. Always leave it.
That you find or like you buy.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh, I put on a ring yesterday at the thrift store.
You fucked up.
Oh, fuck.
You know that feeling when you turn off the lights and you're running away, and that feeling like something's
Someone's
behind
behind
you.
you?
Yeah.
That's probably the feeling you got when you're
No,
running.
yeah.
Huh?
Well, yo soy mucho like I wouldn't say that like I'm like spirit, like I can sense things, but I feel like cuando me da miedo, me da. Like I feel like for the most part I can be like calm, but like when I went to Puerto Rico, we went to this place que like supposedly was like, oh, like like a bunch of people died there, I didn't step foot over there. I know they were like, why not? And I was like, I actually have a bad feeling. I was like, I don't want to go. I was like, I'd rather
That's
not.
good. Trust your feelings always. Yeah.
That's good, my boy.
One of my friends went, and then obviously like maybe this was just like not karma, but like bad timing or something. Her phone stopped working when she was over there.
Whoa.
Like, it just like completely like stopped working. She had to get a new phone. Like it was a whole ordeal. But I was like, no, like I'm very much like certain things. Like I would not like the Ouija board.
Dude,
That's one thing we do not.
People always want us to do it. And we're like, fuck you. No.
If I went to a house party in the very outside of like wherever, and there was like no one for 13 miles, and they pull out a Ouija board, I'm walking home. I'd rather deal with like a mountain lion, a coyote, or something. I'm not dealing with.
Dude,
not doing none of that.
we did a scary shit episode with Sal. You know Sal, and we were gonna go all. Where we went to? We went to Vermont. It was somewhere far as fuck, like going towards Vegas. It was like in the middle of nowhere. And then we were gonna do like an episode there, and Sal was like, "I'm gonna bring in a Ouija board." And we straight up told Sal like, "Bro, if you bring that shit, I'm never talking to you ever again. Like, please no."
I'm not going.
I was like, "We're not gonna do the video
I'm
no
like,
more."
I'll do a lot of things. That's not one of them.
Yeah, dude, we would not do that. Like messing with like what's that shit called? That those ladies that do like the fortune teller. What are they called?
A fortune reader?
Mediums?
Medium, something like that. We would not want to mess with them either.
People that could. I know you done it on the I Am Besties. You know how you pull out the cards.
The card.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's scary.
No, but sometimes like I would just do it. I just do it like lo que se me viene a la cabeza. When I say I made a girl cry before once because I like did that. Because I randomly, like I said, nomás like yo lo hago de pendejo, like oh like esto que el otro, and randomly I don't know why se me metió like oh like are you okay, like I feel like you're sad, and I was like I feel like you've been holding on to something, and then I started saying things. She started crying at the end of it, and I was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, I needed to hear that, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm scared. Like why am I? I know. I was like, why am I kind of right? Like why did I read her? Maybe it was just dumb luck, but I was like actually like a little bit scared afterwards. I was like.
I have power and I don't know.
That was the last time you pulled the cards out.
I sense things too. They always don't want to bring it up, but like when I want to bring it up, it's fine. But like I hate bringing it up because I feel like people think that I'm crazy. But like I see things and I sense things sometimes, and I think I got it from my mom because she also like sees things.
Like for me, I feel too like sometimes some like rooms and stuff. I just don't like them. Like I know like my roommates. One of them is leaving. And then she was like, oh, do you want to move into my room? You and the other roommate. And then my sister and her and the other roommate can move in the other one. I was like, I don't want to go into your room. I was like, I don't care that you guys like this and that. I was like, I don't like that room. I was like, something about it no me gusta. And I stick with it. Like when my family was going to move to houses, I would go to the house and I'm like, a mí no me gusta esta casa. And obviously I didn't have that much jurisdiction on like what we were going to do. But I'd be like, no me se siente bien esta casa. I was like, no me gusta. I'm like, like, I'm like miedoso in that sense where I'm like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. Like if there's a reason for it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's not like more like I feel things. It's more like I see things. Like a lot of times when I know like a room is bad is when I see something going on. Like I can probably just be chilling, like not doing anything, or like just being on my phone and distracted. I feel like that's when it recurs most of the time when you're distracted and you're not focusing on it. Because when I focus on like trying to find something, I don't find it. But when I'm not trying to find something, I always see like dark figures popping up or somebody trying to wave at me or something like in the corner of my eyes, and it feels so real. Like, you know, like you always have like that little speck in your eye, like, and then you're like, okay, that's just a little speck. But like when you know it is, like
it
it's
makes
real.
Sometimes it's like, oh, like am I crazy? But then it's like, well, I've been a little bit right. Like in my roommate's room, after I said that, luckily ya nada pasado. She started getting like sleep paralysis. Oh, I remember I'm like, I remember I was like, I told you guys, I was like, something in that room no me gusta esto que el otro. Pero yeah, I feel like I see like shadows every now and then. But I usually try to convince myself that I'm like, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
Like, yeah,
me too. I'd be like, I'm not seeing that.
You're like, fuck, I need to go to a mental hospital.
Like, I'll just like look away. I'm like, oh.
You know, I feel like when I see those things, I feel like I make them so mad because I'm like, all right, bro, chill out. Like I act like I make them look like a fool. Because like they be trying to like, I feel like they be trying to scare me or make me like think of something. Like they can drop like a poster in front of me. I'd be like, okay, let me fix it. And
I also feel like if anything, like also like spirits or stuff, they try to like sometimes like with certain people over that. Because when I used to live with my family, I feel like I would experience, like I said, my name being called and stuff like that. No one else like les pasaba eso. Pero once I moved and once my 1 year my brother didn't go to Mexico, entonces se quedó ahí solo. That's when like he started experiencing things like things would turn on by themselves. And like one time we had an Alexa and yeah, like it can turn on by itself, but he was in the room not saying anything. La Chona started playing. I was like, oh, the ghost wanted you to dance, period. But then my mom was like, okay, pues agarra a alguien que like vaya y que haga bendizca la casa, ¿verdad? And then I was like, oh, pero cuando le pasa a Lupe, everyone believes him. But I was like, when I said it, like,
Nobody believes
Fuck me, right?
Fuck me then.
like,
That happens to me.
I feel like lo que me daba más miedo a veces when my mom would get scared. Because I feel like mi mami is muy like a non-believer of anything. So I feel like the few times que nos pasaban cosas a los dos and I would see her get a little bit nervous, I'd be like, why is this making me more nervous? Like, why are you getting nervous? You know, like one time estamos adentro y salimos, que iba a tender la ropa and I was like, oh, yo te ayudo. And we had left all the lights on, like everything. And we came back in, all the lights were off. Like the switches were down. I was like, she was like, a lo mejor se fue la luz. And I was like, la cosa se había quedado prendida. And I was like, el microondas está conectado en donde está like el enchufe de la luz. I was like, si se había ido la luz, it would have reset and we would have had to reset the clock. And I was like, eso está raro. And she's like, ay, no es nada, chuche, no te apures. And then like salió regañando, pero like little things like that freak me out.
Yeah.
I think probably the funniest thing though, que me ha pasado, it was like with a ghost, I folded mis chonis and I stacked them up on top of my clothes. And I was, you know how after you fold sometimes te da hueva? So I was like, ay, me voy a acostar un ratito. And I was just laying there on my phone. I kid you not, randomly, my calzón flew across the room. I'm not joking. It like flew
freaky.
across. And I stood up and I was like, and I know that I didn't kick or anything. I was like, and then I think I called my friend Rosa afterwards. I was like, Rosa, why is the ghost like sending me signals? Like, no era miedo que me dio because I was like, why am I calzón out of everything? But yeah, I was like, oh my God. I was like, why does he want me bad? Is this a sign?
Like, do you want to fuck me or what? A ghost, you want to fuck me? That's funny, bro.
Oh,
I love
man.
that.
Yeah, we all love listening to scary stories because like it gives you that
shit.
one feeling. You're just like, oh, what the fuck?
I feel like you get to communicate with each other when you talk about ghost stuff. It's like something that you don't.
That's them. I don't like doing that.
That's that. I
You
don't
bitch.
like that shit.
I'm being a little
That's
bitch.
my dad. It like he has some stories, but he doesn't like talk about them.
Yeah.
Anything has to do with ghosts, death, no. Like he doesn't fuck with.
I love that shit.
We like ghost stories, but when it comes to like demon possessions, we're like, okay, chill. Like we don't like to listen to that because that's actually pretty scary.
I feel like I like that.
I
It's
like
really
to-
Scared with him though.
I like to listen, but then I'm like, that's fucking scary.
that's fucking scary.
Me later at night, because before I go to sleep, I always think of everything I did during the day. So I'm like, I'm fine. Like that's scary. And then at night, I'm like, oh shit, I remember. I mean, what if I thought about it and now he's here?
I fucking hate that. I hate going to sleep and like, or like I'm on TikTok and like I'm like, okay, then it's time to go to sleep, but let me scroll a little more down. And it's like a fucking scary video. I'm like, oh my God, right now, bro, really?
Yeah.
And like little images start popping up like, okay, I can't sleep. I can't
And
sleep.
you know that theory too? If you eat spicy shit before you go to bed, you get a nightmare. That shit's true. Like I ate hot
Really?
wings.
I ate
One
hot
time.
Never
Cheetos
done
last
that
night.
before.
No, I ate hot wings once before and I had a fucking nightmare. That shit scared the shit out of me. I woke up sweating. I was like, fuck, I'm never eating shit like
That's
that.
on you,
man.
bro.
I get freaked out cuando me duermo and I randomly wake up in the night, not tired anymore, and I can't go back to sleep. I'm like, why can't I go
Whoa,
back to sleep? Because
yeah.
you know that they
Yeah.
say usually if someone's looking at you, you can't go to sleep.
Really?
So I'm like, yeah, so like a spirit or something. So I'm like, this is scary.
That happens to me at 3 a.m., bro. I be waking up, I'm like, it's 3 a.m. And I'm like, why can't I go back to sleep? And I be going to use the restroom and I go fuck around and do some shit and I go back
That's
to bed.
scary. Ooh, I didn't know that.
I heard you gotta pray when you wake up in the middle of the night.
Do you?
For real, that's what I heard. Because the spirits be trying to like wake you up and
Isn't
mess
there
around
like
with you.
isn't there a saying? I don't know how I don't know how the saying goes, but it's like if like you're awake, that means somebody's thinking about you or something like that.
Oh no.
Or like if you're
Oh,
dreaming
then no
about
one's
a
thinking
person.
about me. I'm like, rarely.
I sleep good. I'm just like
I feel like it was like if you're dreaming about somebody, that means they're thinking about you or still awake.
No, I think it's when you dream of somebody, it's because they're thinking about you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
I heard that one. When you
Like,
dream of
maybe
a
that
certain
one.
person, it's because they're thinking
I've
about
never
you.
heard
too.
of any of these.
No,
I'm learning.
I used to have dreams like that of like special people, and I wake up, I'm like, they're thinking about me. And then
Oh my
like, I tell
God.
them, and then like, I don't give a fuck about you. I'm like, oh, okay, for sure.
Obama thinking about me.
I'm like, oh, all these celebrities are thinking about me. Like, Bad Bunny, get out of here.
That buddy. Oh my God, you're thinking about me. Thank you.
Yeah.